Good evening and welcome to Falcon Update here on YBTV. I'm Rosie Schiano.
And I'm Caleb Kukin. The senior art exhibit was held this past weekend, but don't worry. The artwork is still on display in Climenhaga. Sarah Marshall is there now at the exhibit. Sarah?
Thanks, guys. I'm here outside Climenhaga, and no worries if you missed the reception held for the Senior Art Show exhibition this past Saturday, as seniors in the Studio Art program still have their works on display just inside the Augenbach Art Gallery here. These handcrafted pieces are open to the public between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m., so be sure to show up and show your support for your fellow Messiah students. That's all. Sending it back to the desk.
Thanks, Sarah. The Multicultural Council and the Career and Professional Development Center collaborated this past Wednesday to bring students the Alumni of Color panel. The panelists ranging from class of 04 to the class of 22 brought a variety of perspectives to prepare students for the challenges that lie ahead. A variety of resources were available, offering help in areas like interviews, applications, and career prep. If you missed out on this event, you can follow MCC on Instagram at MU Multicultural Council or check out the CPDC to take advantage of these resources.
Messiah SAB hosted their annual Spring Craft Bazaar on Wednesday. Students signed up to be vendors to sell their handmade arts and crafts to fellow students in this unique opportunity to display their artistic talents. Make sure to look out for the similar events hosted by SAB to stay involved with all things art.
On Thursday, the Messiah Council on Family Relations hosted their annual coloring pages for kid-patient events in the Union. Students could create custom coloring books by selecting coloring pages and decorating the front and back covers. The coloring books will be hand-delivered to kid patients at Penn State Hershey Children's Hospital, along with other wish list items that the council is collecting until April 4th. Donations can be dropped off at the Office of Student Engagement Desk or the Social Science Resource Room. For more information regarding the collection or the club, follow Messiah MCFR on Instagram or reach out to mcfr@messiah.edu.
The Office of Sustainability held their Swap and Mend event in the Fishbowl on Friday. As part of their Race to the Zero Waste campaign, sustainability allowed students and faculty to bring their undesirable textiles and swap them with others. A sewing machine was also available to help mend damaged clothes. The event was held to reduce waste and fulfill consistent need to make new clothes.
This is Swap and Mend. All of our students can bring in clothes that they would like to donate to get rid of. That way other students can come through, see what they would like. You don't have to donate anything to take anything. We also do have sewing machines here, so people can bring in their clothes to fix anything that may have a tear or something, just to try and prolong the life of the clothing.
Fast fashion continues to be a huge crisis for our generation, as 92 million tons of textiles end up in a landfill each year. Sustainability hopes attendees enjoy their refreshed wardrobes and asks that you remember just how precious this earth truly is. You can follow sustainability at messiah.sustainability on Instagram to stay up with their upcoming dates.
Students had an excellent time at SGA's Extravaganza Easter Egg Hunt on Saturday. Caitlin Mitchum reports.
Government Association held its annual Extravaganza. This Easter egg hunt was a big hit, with many people showing up in hopes of winning some big prizes.
I hope everyone's just here to have a good time. I think a lot of big prizes excite people, but also it's just nostalgic. Easter egg hunts are mostly for kids, but I think this is a really good opportunity for some nostalgic times.
There was a total of 7 golden eggs that correlated with 7 different prizes to anyone who found these golden eggs. The rewards include an Apple Watch, a Keurig, Beat headphones, and many more winnings. Besides all these prizes, Kira Hirsch explains what she hopes these individuals will get out of this event.
I hope that people just have a good time. I know it's raining, but it's a little bit of an adventure. Get some good prizes and just kind of enjoy the Easter season. So,
nearing the end of this gathering, there was one golden egg that had yet to be found. So after a while of waiting, SGA decided that a giant yellow egg will replace the last golden egg. They hid this egg in Bittner Beach and sent everyone out to find it. Once found, everyone went back to the Union to gather their prizes. They ultimately found that the last golden egg had been found. SGA decided that both of these individuals will be getting a prize. From YBTV, this is Caitlin Mitchum.
4. On Saturday evening, the Murray Library had its annual mini golf event in the Stacks. Campus organizations came together to design and create their own mini golf holes for students and faculty to enjoy. Each of the 7 holes was themed and decorated to represent its sponsor. Before starting their round of putt-putt, the library offered participants snacks and even putting practice to get golfers prepared and ready to go.
I think students really enjoy it because of the effort that the organizations put in. The decorations are really, really awesome, and they're almost like professional mini golf courses from the time and effort that are put in. They really care about it.
Of the 7-hole round, participants were asked to vote for the best decorated hole. Be on the lookout for more extracurricular activities that the library has to offer, whether that's mini golf, trivia, or even bingo. You won't want to swing and miss on these opportunities.
SAB hosted their Crazy Card game night in Boyer on Saturday. Uno, 5-second rule, face 10, and more were the cards dealt to students as they competed for various games and themed prizes. Students put on their game faces and enjoyed snacks and beverages while they played. The Crazy Card Game champions took home copies of Ticket to Ride, UK edition. To stay up to date on more SAB events, be sure to follow SAB on Instagram at Messiah SAB.
Just last night, SAB hosted Sourhouse, a playful spin on their typical coffee house event. Students came together to showcase a wide range of hilarious and off-kilter talent with a variety of acts both familiar and brand new. Various comedians and musicians took to the stage with coffee house regular and former YBTV Tonight guest Josh Patey showcasing a brand new comedy set.
Those cupcakes I squashed gave me a really bad reputation. The other day, I purchased the number 5. It's still sitting in my dorm, and I haven't turned it on yet. I don't know what it does, but the box said that it might bite, so I also bought a taser.
More information on upcoming coffee houses and all kinds of student events, you can follow the Student Activities Board on Instagram and Messiah SAB.
We'll be right back with more Falcon Update right after this.
When I visited Messiah, I loved the community here, and it made me feel really welcome, and the applied health science major was the perfect fit for what I wanted to study.
We're training students at Messiah to be leaders in the allied health professions. They're going to make an incredible impact on the health of others all over the world. Our students can choose concentrations in pre-professional, pre-physical and occupational therapy, pre-athletic training, and in exercise science.
I did an internship where I was able to shadow some strength and conditioning sessions with our men's soccer team, and that was really a meaningful experience for me to apply what I know.
All of the professors I had were really focused on integrating Christ into what we did in the classroom and reminded us of the way that God created us and how we can see that in other people as we go on from here.
And then we also teach them ways to interact with their future clients, patients, athletes in ways that not only are focused on writing effective prescription or rehabilitation, but really seek to support people in their journey, mind, body, and spirit.
In my senior seminar class, we have had the opportunity to work with a client as a conditioning consultant, and I've found this experience really valuable because I've been able to put into practice what I've learned into class into a practical situation.
Our students have a real advantage. In many cases, they've had additional training above and beyond what's necessary to gain entry into graduate programs.
So I'm really grateful for the opportunity that this program has offered me.
Welcome back to Falcon Update. Rosie, how was your week?
Caleb, thank you for asking. My week was great. Just trying to stay up to date on homework assignments, exams, the usual. How was yours?
It was pretty good. I mean, got to work some baseball games, do all that type of stuff. And, it was fun because the weather was so nice. It was a little bit chilly, but, speaking of the weather, Ethan Gregory is here to fill you in on this week's Falcon Forecast.
Thanks, Rosie. Thanks, Caleb. Let's take a look at this week's Falcon Forecast. Here tonight, we're sitting at a temperature of around 52 degrees. Today was a wonderful day. Hope you all had the chance to get outside and enjoy the beautiful sunshine. Into the night, we'll be going to around 33 degrees, so it'll get a little bit colder, but other than that, it was a beautiful day today. And let's take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll start with some lower temperatures at around 6 a.m., 34. It'll climb its way up a little bit as we get into the afternoon, where it hits a high of 51. Other than that, we'll see lower temperatures going into the night again. Let's take a look at our surface map for the week. We'll have a little bit of rain coming in on Wednesday, around a 30% chance coming in from the west. So a 30% chance. Other than that, it'll be a little bit cloudy. So we'll have a great day. On to the next. We'll look at our dew points. Our air is a little bit sticky on Wednesday. That's just because of the rain coming in, that 30% chance of rain. Other than that, the air will be really good and nice as we'll see some sunshine later this week. All right, we'll take a look at our 7-day forecast now, sitting with some really good temperatures this upcoming week, especially for Easter. We'll look at Sunday, Resurrection Sunday, sitting at 57 degrees. So make sure you get out and enjoy the sunshine this weekend with your family or with whatever you're doing. Maybe you're playing sports outside or having a cookout. Enjoy Easter weekend, and we'll celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior. Thanks so much. We'll send it right back to Rosie and Caleb at the desk.
Always great to hear from you, Ethan. Katie Murphy is here to tell you all about what's happening this Holy Week.
Hi guys, I'm Caitlin Mitchum. Welcome back to Falcon on the Street since spring break. Come along with me as I ask the question that's on everyone's mind. What'd you do for spring break?
I just relaxed a lot, hung out with my family, and at the end of the weekend, I actually went to a bachelorette party, which was really fun.
I went to Cape May, which is a beach in New Jersey, and sat on the beach with my grandma. It was so much fun, and we just chitted and chatted, and then after that, I went back home and went to see all my friends in a play, so it was really awesome.
Had some fun with the guys, went shopping, ate good food, went to the beach, the usual Miami stuff. Went to Fort Lauderdale. We just had a good time, spending time with family and friends.
I went to Greece with a couple of my teammates, and we visited a lot of historical sites and just had a great time with each other in the city.
You know, I got a tattoo, I rested, and I procrastinated homework. Amen.
I went to Virginia, played 2 lacrosse games, and then I went home with my family and hung out with them.
I went to the National Wrestling Tournament, and I watched this guy get 4th place.
I played a lot of tennis back home in South Carolina.
I went home, and then I went to Nashville for a couple days, and then the last weekend I went to New Jersey.
I went on an aroma trip to North Carolina, to Charlotte, doing some sports ministry.
Me personally, I was on campus all week, so I took advantage of the nice weather and I went out to the breeches and hammocked. From YBTV, I'm Caitlin Mitchum.
Thanks, Caitlin. Now we're heading over to Campus Calendar.
Good evening, Messiah University. I'm Katie Murphy, and I'll be bringing you this week's Campus Calendar. Here's what will be going on around campus this week. On Tuesday, SAB will be hosting a body positivity pop-up in the Union from 5 to 6:30. Stop by the Union to pick up a pamphlet of body image tips and uplifting stickers. There will also be some snacks and a raffle to win some self-care items. Interested in studying abroad? From 8 to 5 on Wednesday, make sure to stop by the Agape Center to learn more about different study abroad options offered by Messiah. From 7 to 8:30, the HRA is hosting a crochet and cocoa night in the Jordan Lounge. Join them for an evening of hot cocoa, crochet, cookies, music, and more. You do not need to have any crochet experience to attend. Guidance and supplies will be provided. All are welcome to attend the Holy Week Scripture and Song Service on Wednesday from 8:30 to 9:30 in the High Center. This service is meant to reflect on Christ's passion through the hearing of scriptures and hymns. Hope to see you there. That's all for this week's edition of Campus Calendar. Enjoy your break and have a wonderful Easter. For YBTV, I'm Katie Murphy.
Thanks, Katie. Now it's time to take things off campus in this week's Beyond the Breeches. Jessica Fannin sat down with Diana Trout, an alum who is now a Christian recording artist.
I'm just a girl in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, like doing my thing.
Diana Trout began her music career after graduating in 2016 from Messiah University to become a songwriter, recorder, and producer. She had 6.4 million streams on Spotify last year.
I don't think they really sink in, but man, it's such a gift, and it's really humbling to think that like anybody is interested in listening. This journey of like faith and music has always kind of been intertwined. It just became this like way for the cry of my heart to be released to God.
The music industry of the Christian community is unique in many ways.
Isn't as vast as you'd think it is. Like it's kind of a small pond. It's a really supportive little community. It's a strange thing because it's like you're putting out Christian music and you're also, you know, I'm now branching out into this as my career. So it's like, well, I do want to make a living off of this, so you have to be kind of self-promotional, which feels like a weird dichotomy of like being humble but also self-promotional. And I've been walking through a season of burnout and really struggled with like just my soul feeling exhausted and asking really big questions about my faith and like who I believe God to be. I just can't help myself but to come back to Jesus.
Trout has released a new song recorded by herself called Still Kind that has been a result of burnout in her faith.
I find myself even in the wrestling of that, like it can be painful, it can be really sweet, it can, like there's so many layers to navigating those kind of big life questions. The verse came first that just said, you're still like the one that I run to. You're still the name that I call on. So being able to put that out ends up being like a really therapeutic thing and also kind of a ministry, because I hope that people, you know, can listen to my songs and hear something that maybe they've experienced in it, and also understand a way to like have conversation with the Lord about what they're walking through too.
With her experience in the music industry, she has gained a new understanding of what it means to create music.
You just don't know what the Lord is going to do with what you have, so don't feel like you need to be perfect and have everything together before you just start doing it and creating.
Trout's song, Still Kind, is now available on all streaming platforms. She will continue to build her Christian music career. That's all for this week's Beyond the Breeches. I'm Jessica Fannin.
Thanks, Jessica. That's all we have for Falcon Update, but don't go anywhere. James and Danny have all things Messiah Sports after this.
Being able to talk about faith and Christianity and what that means is important to me, because working in a secular environment, a lot of times questions of ethics and morality come into play. And I think having a faith-based education really equips people and our students to be able to go out into the workforce and be able to serve their communities ethically and morally and be confident about who they are in their Christianity.
Messiah definitely gave me an idea of what my future could look like. It gave me a vision for all the possibilities that existed for my life through the example of alumni, other students that were just a little bit ahead of me in coursework, the professors that came before me and maybe have graduated from Messiah. There's just such a community that existed and a model of success that was proven time and time again through Messiah. And so that was kind of one of the reasons why I chose to come here and why I continue to love it.
Absolutely filthy goal there.
Boom goes the dynamite.
This is YBTV Sports on Falcon Update. I'm James Hellman.
And I'm Danny Johnson, here to bring you all the latest news in sports here on campus.
Before we get into the highlights, Messiah Swimming was represented by sisters Evangeline and Abigail Sorens. Evangeline became the first ever swimmer in program history to make it to the championship race in the NCAA tournament. She earned a 7th place finish and received the 2nd All-American honors in program history.
A really impressive performance to finish out swim season, but now let's move to the Falcon 4.
action, Messiah Baseball looked to bounce back against Albright at home on Friday. Up 6-0 in the bottom of the 8th, Dustin Eisenagel put the game firmly out of reach with this nice piece of hitting. So here, 0-2 count, bit of a pitcher-friendly count, but Dustin Eisenagel, he's going to shorten up the hands, get it out, poke it opposite field, and that is going to find it right inside the line. And a little bit of a stumble by the outfielder, and Dustin's going to push it and make it into a double. Should have been a single, but the hustle play, heads-up base running. As we're going to take another look at this one, Selly gets the bench pumped up. Just a really good piece of hitting, working the opposite side of the field, keeping it inside the line. And like we said, just with a little bit of a bobbled play out there in right field, Dustin going to be able to turn that into 2. And it was a really, really good play by Dustin. And the Falcons would win this one 8-2 behind big offensive games from Eisenagel, as well as Dylan Beard and a gem on the mound from Jason Long. The team would complete the series sweep, winning both games of the doubleheader at Albright on Sunday. The Falcons are next in action on Thursday at Eastern.
It was a very cold and windy day as Messiah Softball took on a doubleheader against Gettysburg on Thursday. This highlight is from Game 2, where Paige Eakes scores a much-needed home run. Just a solid pitch here from Gettysburg, and what a bang from Paige Eakes. She absolutely dominates that one, just follows through with her swing there, and just able to get that way past the fence out on the opposite side, past the first baseman. We'll see this again after she gets just a great reaction from her teammates, but just absolutely obliterates the ball, gets it way past the fence out there with a much-needed home run because she was able to send her teammate down to end up winning the game or losing the game 11-5. The Falcons defeated the Bullets in Game 1 with a score of 2-1, but dropped the second game 11-5. They showed some serious fight as they kept this one going past the 5th inning.
The Messiah softball team was then back in action the next day for their second doubleheader in 2 days, this time in conference play. Up big against Albright, Mackenzie Shannon put the final exclamation point on a big Game 1 victory. Here, Shannon going to step into the box, up 8-0 already in the bottom of the 4th. And first pitch, not afraid to swing. She gets the pitch she wants right down the middle, no doubt about it, over the left field wall. You see the teammates already, they're getting hyped for her. What a swing by Shannon. First pitch, she knew that she saw the pitch she wanted, she was going to take it, and man, oh man, she ripped that one out there. We're going to look at it again real quick here. Just sits on it, gets the pitch she wants, no doubt about it. And Shannon's second home run of the year capped off the 9-0 victory. The Falcons would continue to dominate, winning Game 2 12-3 and moving to a perfect 4-0 to start conference play. The team is back in action at home on Wednesday in a doubleheader against McDaniel.
James, let's take the next highlight inside where the men's volleyball team competed against the Widener Pride. The Falcons came in red hot as Jacob Hom earns this next point with authority. Just a wonderful serve. The Pride have to go and fight for that one as they tip it over. Graybill with a great pass to Sharp, and Hom just absolutely gets right on top of the ball and able to throw that one down. He just had so much authority with that one as the Pride had to run down the court to get that one to save it and just tips it over. Easy pass for Graybill. It's like he does this all the time. Sharp with a great back set to Hom, and he just hammers that one down. Messiah dominated this matchup, taking all 3 sets. The Falcons look to keep the momentum as they travel to Misericordia tomorrow evening.
And that's all for this week's Falcon 4, and I got to say, it sure does feel good to be outside now covering some spring sports.
Yeah, James, if you've been outside, you've seen all of the construction at Starry, and lately, though, you'll notice all of that, and it's all closed off. I sat down with Athletic Director Sarah Gustin-Hamrock to talk about the construction of the Warmer Welcome Project. Last year, we covered Messiah's Warmer Welcome Project, but it has finally broken grounds as of late. I spoke with Sarah Gustin-Hamrock about the important details regarding the construction.
As you can imagine, trying to schedule any kind of construction project is difficult on a college campus. In the summer, you have camps and you have a ton of conferences and things happening as well, so it's going to be disruptive to that as well. It just takes longer than the summer months to construct a building.
With the extreme amount of construction, there is no doubt some are wondering when the project might be done.
It is supposed to be done by August, I want to say 30th, but it's basically before the fall sports begin.
This is very exciting as this not only impacts athletes in a positive way.
If you've ever been over there, and if you're familiar with the facilities currently out there, you would know that it's not quite as hospitable the campus, and we did our buildings and our facilities here in the Sports Center, Solberg Sports Center, really anywhere on campus, any of our academic buildings, the admissions and welcome center. There's a certain feeling that we want to evoke, and it's how we present ourselves at Messiah, and it's how we truly are. We are a hospitable place, and we just don't feel like you get that feeling in the Messiah complex.
Through much prayer and support, almost half of this project is covered. Messiah is still looking for more donors and sponsors to alleviate some of the costs and to bring a whole new feeling to the athletic fields.
So this project is 100% donor funded. So if someone wanted to give toward the project, we certainly are welcome to gifts. We are still a little bit off of what our goal is to complete the project. And so while it has started construction, we are still actively searching for more donors to give to the project.
This is a tremendous project that everyone can look forward to as we try to focus on the values we hold as a university. We are continuing to strive for excellence, live our lives with hospitable characteristics, and most importantly, glorify God in all we do. For YBTV, I'm Danny Johnson.
Thanks for that, Danny. It's always so exciting to see new things changing on campus. James, anything to add for that?
Yeah, I just think talking to Matthew Fenton and then that new package with the athletic director, I just think, it's a really good improvement, not for just Messiah teams, but away teams, new locker rooms, new concession stands. I think we've all had our own experiences with the Falcon Hut. Love the Falcon Hut, but it definitely is a little bit outdated, maybe even a lot outdated. So I think this is going to be a really nice improvement for the Messiah Athletics family.
Yeah, absolutely, James. I can't wait until we can round this three-part story out when construction finishes later this year.
Yeah, and thank you, everybody, for watching Falcon Update. Stay tuned, though, for YB Tonight. Julia Kropp is hosting, and you don't want to miss it.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Julia Kropp, and for this week's Bird's Eye View, we're going to be joining the Swing Dance Club to see if they can teach me a few things. Let's go. We're here joined by Hayward, who is the president of the Swing Dance Club. Hayward, can you tell me a little bit about what you guys do here?
So here at the Swing Dance Club, we actually do have an instructor that comes in weekly and teaches us new moves. So we learn things like different spins and different dips and maybe even some aerials.
And can you just right here, right now, show me the basic steps of a swing dance?
Okay, so there are three primary things.
Okay.
There is a rock step, a forward triple step, and a backwards triple step, right?
Right.
So there's also two positions. There's a lead and a follow. And so let's say, for instance, you're a follow and I'm a lead, right? Of course. So for me, I would do a rock step back onto my back left foot, and then I would triple step forward and triple step backwards. You would do the same thing. It would just be mirrored.
Wow, Hayward, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. And don't go anywhere. Right after this break, I will be sitting down with Hayward to talk about Swing Dance Club.
Good evening and welcome to Yellow Breeches Tonight, live from Hofstadter Studio. I'm your host, Julia Kropp, and I'm so excited for what we have planned. First, I'll sit down with Hayward Smith Cassidy, the president of the Swing Dance Club. Then I'll sit down with Mason Casey and Isaiah Biner to talk about their band before they finish the show with a performance. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. I'm here with Hayward Smith Cassidy, president of the Swing Dance Club. Hayward, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. All right, so what does a typical Swing Dance Club night look like?
Well, normally, of course, as I mentioned in the video, there's our instructor who comes in and she teaches us new moves each week. And so we learn a lot of different moves, primarily in the East Coast swing. We've also done a little bit of West Coast swing as well. So it's a lot of variety and a lot of people that come in and try and learn some new moves and just have some fun.
Nice. Do you want to elaborate on what East Coast and West Coast swing is?
See, it's a little bit more complicated than that,
Okay.
right? So West Coast is a little bit more fitting for pop music per se, and East Coast is more of like Lindy Hop, more bouncy, kind of just fast paced. So there's a little bit of a variety between the two, but anybody can do either one.
Interesting. How do you implement partner dancing in your classes?
Right. So normally what we have is we have leads and we have follows. So the leads will split up onto one side, follows will go on to others, right? And then initially we either ask the leads to ask the follows to dance or ask the follows to ask the leads to dance. That way it's more inclusive. And so of course, like if anybody says no, then that's just that, but we like to try and make sure that people are able to really get multiple different experiences with multiple different people, which really helps them build up their skills in the future.
Yeah, and while taking the class, I really liked that we also switched partners. I think that helped a lot too.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. Does anybody who wants to join need any experience before joining?
Oh, no, not at all, not at all. And if anybody newer does want to come, I also end up teaching a lot of the classes too, so I can help get people caught up in just one lesson, maybe even less time than that, you never know.
And did you have any swing dance experience before you joined?
No, not at all. I started swing dance when I was a sophomore in college, and then next thing you know, I became a member of the cabinet as a PR manager, and then I stepped up to the president.
Wow. So what are some of the unique features of the Swing Dance Club?
Can you elaborate on that question?
Yeah, so just how does it differentiate from say some of the other dance clubs or clubs like swing dance?
Right, so the biggest difference is that swing dance is a partner dance, and I feel like a lot of different clubs here on campus are more of just choreography, or they're focusing on different styles, which each club does as well, but primarily the partner dance part. So being able to just really grow a bond with somebody and to grow that experience with someone of just just practicing and dancing for fun,
Yeah. So switching gears a little bit towards your role as president, how has being president in this club been like for you? What's kind of your process like?
Well, being the president is very meaningful towards the part of making sure that everything comes together. So making sure that events are well planned and everything is going according to the plan to make sure that we are able to keep everything running like a smooth and nicely oiled machine, right? So I primarily overwatch things and just check in with the cabinet, make sure that they are on top of things. I attend meetings, I keep in contact with different bands that we have for our live music events, and yeah, that's a pretty good summary of what I do.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how do you guys get people excited for Swing Dance Club, especially if they don't know what it is all about?
So predominantly, the most excitement really comes when we're, having our club student club engagement meetings. So that way we're able to reach out to people, get people on the emailing list, and then we bring people in. We have also shown or have actually done choreography for swing dance at like different high schools around the area. And we've also done outreach to people, whether it's on Facebook or to other different places around the campus, in order to bring more and more people in for, you know, just getting to meet other people. Like we've gone out to a couple of swing dance clubs that are around the area too, like the Green Door or Victrola Dance Hall, which is the one that our instructor runs. So.
Wow, that sounds like so much fun. And going to high schools, that's awesome. So we talked a little bit already about like the difference with swing dance being partner work. How else is swing dance different from other dance styles, even like other partner dance styles?
I would say a lot of people may think that it's more old schoolish in comparison to a lot of more current dance styles, in which like it's still a very prominent style of dance all around the world pretty much. And so I would say that's probably the most or the biggest difference. Because when I initially first started, I was like, wow, this music is definitely not really like my style, but at the end of the day, I kind of just got into the groove still, no matter what. So yeah, you know, it's something different, something that you kind of have to like step a little bit out of your comfort zone for, but still it turned out quite wonderful for a lot of the people that joined.
Yeah. Would you say that some people are turned down to the idea of like kind of the old school dance styles?
Yeah, I definitely would say so, but there's a wide or very interesting background towards swing dance. Like swing dance originated from more African American people in America, and so sometimes it may seem that it's a little bit more just focused on like maybe more of a Caucasian kind of audience, but in reality it's straight up for everybody. So anybody that goes around and tries to like join swing dance, is like you'll realize that there is something within you that can definitely just come out of just like fun, happiness, and joy, and just being able to build community with somebody else as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So do you have a 30-second pitch that you can give me to anybody watching right now that might be interested in joining swing dance?
30-second pitch, okay.
45 seconds if you need it.
5 seconds?
I said 45 seconds.
45 seconds? Oh, that's okay. Well, I would say, hey, don't you dare be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Swing dance is a good time, and if you really do enjoy dancing, just meeting up with new people, just stepping out into different environments, swing dance is a place for you. And you never know. You never really know how it's going to impact you and how it's going to change your life. Personally, for me, it has made my life a lot more fun as well. But I also just love to dance. So that's a little something.
It was good. I liked it. Do you guys have any upcoming events or performances that you guys are doing?
We do. On April 27th, we are actually hosting the Bombastic Boogie, in which we are going to have a live band, Dibs and the Detonators, which they have played for us before as well. And we're going to have, you know, live music. We're going to have snacks, drinks, and everything. So please, if you guys are down to meet new people and just hang out and have fun, come to the Bombastic Boogie.
Yeah. And where can people find you on social media?
So you can find us on Instagram at the MU Swing Dance Club, as well as emailing us at messiahswingdanceclub@messiah.edu if you'd like to join our mailing list.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
After the break, I'll sit down with members from the band For His Glory, Mason Casey and Isaiah Briner. Stay tuned.
The MSAT at Messiah University is this 2-year master degree that's also paired with students that will be completing the 5-year accelerated MSAT, completing their bachelor's and their master's. We have experienced, dedicated, passionate athletic training faculty that are ready to teach the next generation of athletic trainers, to teach our students how to integrate their faith into their role as a healthcare provider. And we have a strong and growing list of clinical experiences that will allow students to experience athletic training in a variety of settings.
Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
Welcome back. I'm here with Mason Casey and Isaiah Briner, members of the band For His Glory. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
We're doing great. Doing well. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course. So when did you guys decide to form this band?
Yeah. So we actually met, we both wrestled for Messiah. Well, he is currently a wrestler. I had already graduated at this point, but I was a senior and he was a freshman on the wrestling team. We met each other at the Breeches because we had a cookout for the team, and the upperclassmen like to meet the underclassmen, like ask them questions, get to know them, feel comfortable on the team. And I came up to Mason and we just started talking, hit it off pretty well. He talked about his passion for music, his passion for the Lord and serving him, and yeah, the rest is history. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's such a cool way of like meeting and then forming this too. Like
yeah, the next week he asked me about like wanting to jam with him because I played percussion. We had talked about that, and he had a vision for a music ministry, and I believed in it and wanted to accompany him in any way, and so
that's so cool.
Yeah.
So do you guys write your own songs, right?
Yeah, we do.
What is that process like?
So it's a kind of an interesting process. So normally I'd just be like messing around, like playing guitar, and then I'll see if I can like throw lyrics to something, and then sometimes some things come out and sometimes it doesn't. But I come to him with the songs, and it's really good because he's a lyric guy, and like when I listen to music, I don't really listen to lyrics that much. I just listen to like the sound and the harmonies. But he pays really close attention to the lyrics, so I'll bring to him stuff and be like, hey, like is this something, or do I sound stupid like with these lyrics and stuff? And he's normally like very supportive and very, very helpful. And then it's through that we develop like the rhythm parts and then talk about other ideas for it too. So
yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. How would you guys say that you have been able to keep your band kind of God-centered instead of like very often like to your own thing? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I can start with that. I think one of the things we really try to surrender is just like the why we do music. And I think in the music industry, a lot of people strive to like glorify themselves through music. And we just have a really deep heart for Jesus and what he's done. Like he's blessed us with these gifts, and we just want to give it back to him because we just get the privilege of enjoying them for ourselves. So who will we be if we try to elevate ourselves with them? So we just strive to like really do everything for his glory. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to add to that, a big fundamental principle that we have in our band is staying like centered in the Word, staying centered in fellowship, spending time together, spending time with Jesus personally, right? He wants a personal relationship with us. And you can do anything and say that you're doing it for his glory, right? And just like live your own life and just slap the name of Jesus on it. But what really makes something for his glory is knowing him, knowing what does bless his heart. And that takes an intimate relationship with him and starts in being in his word. So we eat it up, and we eat it up together, you know. And that's how we start to know the heart of Jesus, and as we walk with him and get to know each other better. He talked about like making music and running it through me. There's not much of a filtering process. I really believe he hears straight from the Holy Spirit. And you know, I am blessed that he brings that to me, but like it's like hearing a psalm to me. I'm not saying his songs are like new scripture or divinely inspired, but like it seems very Davidic to me and very psalmic, and that's why I stick around. I just like hearing his music.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, that's amazing. And do you contribute to any of the songwriting, or is that kind of his
That's
thing?
kind of his wheelhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, I just accompany him and play around, and yeah, we bounce ideas off each other, but it's mainly his gift, especially.
So to kind of keep going in this direction, how would you say your band has kind of impacted your faith and like made it maybe grow a little bit more?
Yeah. I think a really big thing is the Lord has chosen to use like the ministry that we're pursuing to just teach us a lot about what it looks like to follow him. Because I remember one time we were supposed to have a gig and then it got canceled and we were really upset. But it was kind of a way of the Lord like just being like, hey, like you play when I let you play and you don't play when I don't let you play. And just reminding us that like we're in his hands and we're like standing in the river of his guidance, whether we choose to like swim with the current or not. So
yeah. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll just say I think it's just been a ride. It's really cool to see like when you do commit your deeds and not just like your plans, but like commit your deeds to the Lord. He just does things that you can't even come up with or conjure up yourself. And like I've been so inspired by Mason's faith, especially, and how he's just relaxed and he doesn't worry. He just really does surrender it to God, even though maybe I'm like freaking out about a situation, and just like seeing how the Lord provides in that it's been a blessing.
Yeah.
We've also been able to see a lot of his like provision through this ministry too. Not just like funds, but also just like through fellowship and just through like hearing his voice. So we've tasted and seen that Jesus is good. So and we want to spread that to people. So
that's amazing. Wow. What have your performances been like? Just in general. Like
yeah, they're fun. So we started off doing like coffee house and stuff.
Yeah.
That was cool because you get to be on a big stage. And then we've also done a bunch of coffee shop gigs too. And it's fun every time because we learn how to approach them, and like it's just fun to play music. So and the goal for our music is just to encourage others. Like we're not particularly worship music. We focus more on like Christian music, right? And the goal of what Christian music is just to encourage and build up others. Because I've experienced that. Like I love music so much; it just speaks to me. And we just strive to want to do that for others too. So
yeah, that's awesome. So what is being a part of this like Christian music community? How has that been like for you guys?
Nate.
Oh yeah, sure. It's just been really cool to meet a lot of different kinds of people, and then just like be open to the people that the Lord just puts in our life, literally on like a silver platter half the time. Like the guy who produced our first EP, really talented, Nate Hopkins, and he lives like around here, and he was a graduate from here as well, and he's getting into producing music. And we were really impressed with not just his ability to make music and produce it, but just his heart and his mission behind it is really cool. And we were just we were beneficiaries of that in a way that was very graceful, and it was just awesome to meet another brother in Christ that we got to fellowship with. So.
And loves music. Is really good at it.
And really loves Jesus a lot. So.
Yeah, it's amazing how the Lord just kind of puts those people in your path, and like in ways that you couldn't even imagine.
Yep. No.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you guys have any upcoming performances that people might be able to watch?
Yeah, sure. SAB is doing a coffee house for bands. I believe it's April 10th, so we'll be participating in that. So.
Awesome. And what are your hopes for the future of this band? I know you're in grad school, but do you plan to continue this like throughout your experience, or maybe even farther?
Yeah, we so plans we have just surrendered to him, and whatever he continues to lead us. So wherever he leads us into playing, and whatever he gives us the inspiration to pursue. So
yeah,
but we'll see what happens. So open hands.
I love that so much. Is there anything I missed? Anything you want to touch on again?
We did release an EP in December. My dad would probably yell at me if I didn't mention it, because he's always like, you gotta mention it. So yeah, it's called Lord Willing. It's on all streaming platforms. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Right after the break, we will be back to see them perform. Stay tuned.
Higher education is in deep need of bright, caring, and capable students, people who desire to effect positive change, who lead out of their core values and their identity in Christ. And at Messiah's program, we take seriously the calling to equip students to do just that.
Our graduate program has two pathways that we focus on. One is a degree in higher education with concentration areas, and the other is the degree in intercollegiate athletic leadership.
The online courses in the program made it really flexible. As a working professional, it was easy to stay on top of my coursework. I feel like the online environment didn't detract any from that personal experience I was able to get in the program.
I didn't just want a degree that was a piece of paper and something to put next to my name. I wanted a degree program that was going to challenge me and push me to grow not only as a coach and possible future administrator, but also as a servant of Christ.
What greatly appealed to me was that I wouldn't feel like a number, and so going throughout the entire program, I just feel like I left knowing my classmates so well, I knew faculty members so well, and built connections that I will continue to use throughout my professional and personal life.
The MSAT at Messiah University is this 2-year master degree that's also paired with students that will be completing the 5-year accelerated MSAT, completing their bachelor's and their master's. We have experienced, dedicated, passionate athletic training faculty that are ready to teach the next generation of athletic trainers, to teach our students how to integrate their faith into their role as a healthcare provider. And we have a strong and growing list of clinical experiences that will allow students to experience athletic training in a variety of settings.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. We're here with Mason Casey and Isaiah Briner. Let's hear it, guys.
Yeah, this song's called May You Love, and we've never performed it before, so you guys are the first ones to hear it. I don't always understand all the contents of your son. I will walk by faith, not sights, knowing the battle's already won. Now I'm running to the sound of lights, and my feet I know won't fail. For you make them as the deer, and on the wind of your word I will sail. May your love abide in us. May your grace set us free. May you be at the center of our hearts, and this be the song of the redeemed. May your love abide in us. May your grace set us free. May you be at the center of our hearts, and this be the song of the redeemed. And this be the song of the redeemed.
Thank you guys so much for coming on. I'm sure that the people in the audience enjoyed that so much. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, Messiah.